Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixers cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the night, holding on for life, fading out. Chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, holding on for feeding the high, chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get a few. Day to day you wanna stay out. You're chasing the night, holding on for life, fading out. Chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night.
time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. Of darkness.
We're stuck in your car on a Friday night, and we laugh away stuff we try not to talk about. Still your smile keep on heating up the climate, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And by accident, you're getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone. Whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing now, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. Can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone. We're stuck in your car on a Friday night, and we laugh away stuff we try not to talk about. Still your smile keep on heating up the climate, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And by accident, you're getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts? I'm so sick of this friend zone. Differently. Whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing now, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah? And that I'm sick of this friend zone. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone.
Saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Saw you look at me that way. It broke my heart to see. It's too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixers cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the night, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, holding on for holding on for life, feeding the high, chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day you wanna stay out, you're chasing the night, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Mit dem Shuttle wäre es natürlich toll, wenn man den nicht vergisst zu machen, weil sonst ist es einfach nervig, wenn man jetzt...
Alice, kannst du mir helfen mit dem WLAN-Passwort?
Mom, geh doch einfach auf die My Swisscom App!
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Et voilà, Internet ultra rapide.
Toujours pas.
Mais non. Ouais, allô? Ouais, écoutez, j'ai un souci familial. Ça marche pas.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another night here in the Swisscom Hero League, powered by ESL. And once again, we got some nice Clash Royale action coming up here tonight. And with me, who else could it be? The lovely, the only, the not so young anymore, but still very handsome and inspiring Chief Avalon here with me. My name being Don Rigoni, and we're so much looking forward to tonight's matches.
Yes, thank you so much for the warm but not so nice welcome. Happy to be here with you for another amazing Clash Royale evening with the best players of Switzerland, and today we bring you the semi-finals. That's gonna be super hyped, super amazing. I can't wait to see them play. Let's have a look at the schedule. There it is.
There we go. We're gonna start off for once. It's a little bit.
I
That's like,
expected
there it is, and like.
I expected it to be big, you know, big.
Since we're already into our semi-finals here and we'll be determining who will make it into our grand finale on the 3rd of October at the Hero Fest live in Bern. We only have 2 matches here coming up, and those will be between, first of all, Solak versus his teammate Jesus, and then followed by the duel between Sen Pyrect and our newcomer to the league in Adipa. So yeah, super exciting. All the 4 players, they fought hard to get here. Adipa and Jesus, they already got quite solid wins to their names last week.
Yes.
And have now made it here to the semi-finals, where they will be facing off against our top 2 contestants from the regular season.
And as always, they will play best of 5 matches, so whoever wins 3 matches first is the winner of either semi-final. Let's have a look at the bracket next. Here it is, and we see Solak joined here directly into the semi-final, and so did Saint Pyrect, while Jesus and Adepa, they had to qualify through the quarterfinals, and those are the 2 encounters we have today. What do you think about those 2 encounters here? Solak against Jesus. What do you expect from that one?
As I mentioned last week, I'm a little puzzled here that Solak actually did choose his teammate. I think this goes to show how much he really respects respects Adipa as a player, and how much he Adipa maybe has even managed to like make him shake in his boots back when they faced off against each other on their last playday. Adipa, quick reminder, actually managed to take him down back then and looked quite convincing while doing so. Yeah, so like they had to make a really tough decision here. Either go up against his teammate in Jesus or face off against possibly one of the strongest opponents that he currently has, and that is standing between him and possibly his second title in a row.
Yeah, that's really a little bit unexpected. Maybe he also hopes that he wouldn't have to play against Senpai, because Senpai would have a tough match here. Speaking of Senpai, what do you expect from the second match that we're gonna see today? Senpai, the 4 times champion, gonna go against the Deppa in match number 2. What do we expect to see from that?
Well, like honestly, that one will be really on a knife's edge, I believe. The odds are pretty much even when they faced off against each other earlier this season. Senpai had the upper hand, but it was quite close, and I felt like Adipa, he was slowly ramping up over the course of the season. In the beginning, you saw him make some minor mistakes here and there, some little slip-ups, especially in his debut match against Kefron. And yeah, ever since he's only been getting stronger and stronger, and also with the meta changes that we just had, he seems to be doing exceptionally well under these new circumstances. And on the other hand, Senpai, he's played a super strong season. On the last day, he did go down to Solak, who is kind of his nemesis after all, or still his nemesis. Yeah, also hasn't looked super convincing, especially in that match. Question will be, did he manage to recover from that one, or is he still like a little up in the air and has to find his footing? So it's like,
it's gonna be on the razor's edge, as you say, and especially Adepa has been a big surprise in that season. Basically from nowhere he appeared for the first time in this season, and he played extremely great matches here, played them extremely well, and yeah, now he's in the semi-final, and we already know the bans of this first match, and here they are.
there we go.
Solak bans the Mega Knight, and Jesus bans the Miner. Yeah, Miner is kind of an obvious ban. Also, actually, the Mega Knight, I think that avoids the Royal Hawks. The Royal Hawks are quite present at the moment in the meta. And also Miner Poison, Graveyard Poison, Lava Hound, Miner, all that stuff. So I think it's pretty good bans, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially the Miner targets so many different archetypes between Graveyard, Lava Hound, Poison Miner control decks, Wall Breakers oftentimes runs that Miner too. And so yeah, you can target a lot of archetypes with one single ban. Of course, this does not like fully remove the archetype, but it like makes it weaker, where you still then have options to like play against it and have better odds when facing it. Mega Knight, on the other hand, is like it's a bit of a telling ban, I feel. Yeah, it is super strong into the Royal Hawks, which might be an indicator that Solak really wants to bring that archetype. But like as we've seen in the weeks past, Mega Knight is kind of a hit or miss card, I feel. Either it's like super good and strong, or it's like complete bait, I feel. If your opponent has a decent answer to it, it can just be horrible, because it doesn't have the biggest health pool. It's
actually
slow.
quite easily answered. For example, with a little mini P.E.K.K.A. that's already enough to stop him, and then it costs 7 elixir, so that can be quite a lot actually, because it's stopped by small unit. It does well against Royal Hawks. It does actually also well against Hawk Rider.
Yeah.
As soon as there's buildings on the map, it's not such a great condition.
Yeah, exactly, because there's a lot of like, with Mega Knight as a card, there's a lot of power in that enter the arena ability, the jump, and then also the fact that he is kind of a tank that also deals splash damage, which for example a P.E.K.K.A. doesn't have. But a P.E.K.K.A. hits a lot harder, and B has a lot more health. And yeah, a Mega Knight can sometimes feel a little squishy. So, like the deck archetype we've seen the last weeks has largely been the Mega Knight combined with the balloon.
So,
but we'll have to see what they're gonna be
now
bringing to the table.
Let's switch to what they actually play. There's the Hog Rider. So that was telling, and we predicted it right.
There we go. So it did make sense here to opt for that ban because that would be a very strong counter.
Yeah, so I have to say we were right here with the Hog Rider. That was a good guess.
Yep.
The Ram Rider is also a strong card. It's back in the meta. We see that very often now. Good Fireball, actually taking out the Firecracker.
Yeah, decent value there. It's a bit of a freeze off here.
And there's the
great
P.E.K.K.A.
absorption. Oh, yeah, the
Now
bridge spam deck here
hit.
for Jesus.
No hit for that poor Bacon Hog.
And there it is back. Tesla nerfed but not forgotten. It's still super strong here, and those skeletons, they make sure the P.E.K.K.A. does not even get a hit on it. And yeah, so far it's just a
we can
really
actually
good back and forth
We
here.
can expect that those players know each other really well because they're in the same team. They practice together a lot. So they probably know those tiny mistakes each other may make.
Yeah, so I'm going to be quite curious here how they will be dealing with each other's strategies here. We can see both of them here, like Bridge Spam versus Hog Rider here. On paper, I
nice
think
King
this,
Tower activation.
I think this technically, I would say this technically favors the Bridge Spam deck because it can just build big pushes off of countering the Hog Rider. But then again, Solag on his side has great answers to the P.E.K.K.A. as well.
The thing here is that Solag's deck is a lot faster actually in the cycling than Jesus' deck.
Yeah.
It's more expensive, and that may turn into an advantage. Jesus has all the counters, that is true, but can he play them on time?
But the big question here will be the longer this game goes on, the bigger the advantage is for Jesus actually.
As
we get into
here,
double
the
and
Hog
triple
Rider
elixir time,
did no damage.
Yeah, it will be a lot easier here for Jesus to create a lot of pressure actually. And yeah, there we can see it. Ram Rider here coming down, charging onto Tesla, and that will be an unanswered P.E.K.K.A. here.
P.E.K.K.A. is on the
There's
tower.
a Hoglin there as well. That's one hit,
it.
and there's the second hit. That's
Wow.
tower down. 10 seconds left remaining on the clock. There's no way Solag will be able to come back into this here. And yeah, we kind of caster cursed him here.
Yeah.
I feel Jesus wiping away the sweat there from his forehead. Okay, this matchup is in his favor. He got it in the bag, and yeah, eventually he was just able to get a lot more bang for his buck, so to speak.
Yeah, it's pretty much what we expected and what you predicted here. The longer the game goes, the more advantage to the heavier deck. And so Jesus was able to build that heavy push here, where Solag does not have the defense to stop that P.E.K.K.A. It's also a bit unlucky that the P.E.K.K.A. doesn't walk to the Tesla and goes directly to the tower and destroys it.
Solag not super happy with that one. I mean, also the pressure here is quite high. I mean, Solag, he is on the brink of like entering another final here in the Swisscom Hero League. Just in his second season, like first season he joined, he made it to the finals, he won the whole thing.
He's defending his title today.
Yeah. And now like the expectations, they are suddenly there. And yeah, he has something to lose,
Jesus,
you know.
in the final last time?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Solag against Jesus. So this is basically the final we had last season that we're watching right now.
Yeah, so like
so Jesus has an open bill here.
Yeah.
With Solag, he wants payback.
And so far, like he's the one who's gotten on the board first here tonight. He looked very strong. It was kind of a matchup advantage there, but then still, like you still have to play it out properly, and he did a great job with that one. He showed in the past that he really likes this deck archetype, and it's one of the decks that really hasn't been affected too much by the most recent changes.
Match number 2. Yeah, he sure did play that really well. Both of them, we have to say, not a big mistake there in that match. It's pretty much what their decks gave. That's what they played. And let's see what they have for us here in match number 2.
Yeah, Solak here also opting for the bandit together with the princess. Princess card we don't really see too much anymore, and that's a wall breaker princess deck. Something I really haven't
It's
seen
actually
yet.
a good pick here, the princess against bomb tower.
Yeah, certainly is. Can fire, snipe away at it from afar. Cannon card there also doing great on defense.
Yeah, one missed shot.
And
Goblin
yeah, it will be the
Baron.
log bait deck
Nice
here.
one.
Barb Barrel though does come down and take out these pesky goblins.
Bandit. Solak very pushy here in this matchup.
Yeah. The Magic Archer, also a card we don't see too much here anymore. There
Oh,
are the
Royal
Royal Hogs, I
Hogs.
was just about to say. I think this is the Royal Hogs deck. It is indeed. Together with the Hunter here and another Princess. Not the worst answer here on
Yeah,
the side
pretty
of Solak.
solid damage here on the bottom right tower.
Indeed. But now he gets the opportunity for a counter push here. Wallbreaker does not connect. A fantastic Barb Barrel there from Jesus. But Solak on the upper left-hand side here actually got a ton of damage in with that with that Goblin Barrel, I mean, since the Barb Barrel had to be invested on the right side of the arena. Now Solak here with the advantage. Logbait, also an archetype that I wouldn't call it was fully dead, but like after the most recent balance changes has come back a lot. Like just the fact that
Oh, 3 Musketeers!
there we go, signature card here.
Amazing.
Fun fact, it is Jesus' favorite card.
Yeah,
the
and
Three
Solak does
Musketeers.
not have a really strong counter here against the Muskies, except for playing fast.
There's another Barb Barrel here coming down.
Look at the damage those Muskies are doing.
Yeah, but once again here, the Princess really putting in the work here at making sure those Musketeers do not really get any damage onto the tower. Another round of wall breakers here.
Stopping both of the wall breaks with the bomb tower. That was nice.
Dangerous here now.
Next
for
Goblin Barrel.
Jesus. The
He's
Goblin
got the
Barrel.
Barb Barrel ready. He knows.
There was
That's
even
gonna-
a second Princess ready on the field.
Yeah, it's gonna be
but that was
difficult to
taken
score
down.
with the Barb Barrel
Oh,
because
Jesus,
is
though.
ready.
That was clutch there, getting that bandit in there, but now the Magic Archer is onto the
Just
tower.
the next round of Muskies.
What's the last card here for Solak? I think I could see it being a rocket potentially, or also
the Royal Hawks now. Jesus
we would
going
have seen the
all in here
fireball.
in the left lane.
Ooh, misses one
All
of the
in. There's the
goblins though, never
Muskies.
mind.
Muskies distracted.
Muskies are down,
Now
the bandit
they're
there
going
goes down
against the
super
Hunter.
fast, and look
They're
at this
going
though.
for the
I think this
tower.
is tower
No!
down.
Look at
Ladies
the
and gentlemen, we're at match point
Yeah,
here.
that's it.
Jesus taking it, 2-0.
Wow. Yeah.
He's happy if I've ever seen a bit of a pop-off there.
That's the thing. Once you have those Muskies on the tower, they're doing so much damage.
Yeah.
So really strong play here by Jesus. Yeah, let's have a look at that amazing replay.
Super punishing here for Solak, the fact that he didn't really run any spells in his deck.
No fireball.
Outside
I mean,
of
this
that.
would be a
of that.
perfect fireball here.
Yeah, like on everything. Like, and I think at this point Jesus was also pretty sure about that. I think that it was why he was hesitant at first, but now look at the value that these Musketeers get. Like they're just shredding that bandit, and then it's just no chance left
Look
for
at
him.
the emotions here. Jesus
like,
so happy
okay.
that the Musketeer deck finally it worked.
He's like, all right,
again.
boys, win this,
Yes.
let's go.
Finally, it worked again, and that's already match point for Jesus. Could it be another fast one?
Yeah, and I mean, Jesus, I'm super, well, not 100% like surprised. He's always been a super good player, but he seems kind of relaxed going into this, you know? It's just like,
just imagine what a revenge for the last final that would
Yeah,
be if he actually
yeah.
wins 3-0 against the champion.
yeah, and I mean, back then it was quite intense, but like Solak was in the driver's seat for all of their matches basically this past 2 seasons.
Now
And
all the pressure is on Solak, of
Yep.
course, in match number 3.
going into this here once again, I think if Solak took away a lesson from that last game, it's bring Fireball. It's quite a good spell.
Yeah, we still don't know what the last card was, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was the snowball for.
It was snowball. Okay, yeah, that's
but like
not
it's
enough.
like only one spell. It's between
If it's a fireball, it would have been perfect for the Hawks and the Muskies at the same time.
Yeah.
What an elixir gain that could be.
It's always a bit the how do you say, like the ups and downs kind of these unit heavy decks. You can like build very strong pushes and cycle aggressively, but oftentimes in the defensive setup you're really lacking in terms of your options when you don't like have at least 2 spells in your deck.
A very careful start here by Jesus, not giving away his deck yet.
I think Jesus, that might be an E-Giant deck.
Could be.
Not 100% sure yet though, but so like I think we've seen this one before. I think this is a Royal Giant deck here for him. But yeah, there it is. It does come down
Royal
into
Giant.
the arena. Oh, and there's the hard counter.
Beautiful!
The P.E.K.K.A. there once again here for Jesus.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. The pull here, pulling the P.E.K.K.A. away from the Royal Giant.
Yeah.
Now the P.E.K.K.A.'s on the way.
Delaying it, slowing it down, and a lot of damage though onto Jesus' tower there. Also, that E-Wiz will not be
he
long
has
for
to
this world.
neutralize that Fisherman somehow. With small units or something like that.
Yeah, Fisherman will be the MVP here and also indicate here.
Oh, balloon.
Oh, that's a balloon.
Oh, that's
here.
a rough one here for Solak. He
I
does not
don't
really have
think he can-
counters for that one. Only the Mega Minion. That's the only one.
There's another
And it connects.
tornado. Oh, but I think that this could just be towered down here for. Oh no, he does get the E-Wiz into the arena. But E-Wiz there on the side of Solak does connect. He got some good damage in with that balloon.
It could be
HP
similar
remaining.
to the first match here. Once we're in triple elixir, double elixir, the balloon will be so much stronger.
Yeah, certainly so. There's another bomber now coming down just to make sure it absorbs the Fisherman hit. Only one hit there from the Royal
This
Giant
is a
onto that
perfect
tower, and that's
graveyard.
What the hell is that deck? It's balloon graveyard.
Balloon graveyard.
Balloon
I was
graveyard
about
P.E.K.K.A.
I was
What the
about to
hell?
say this is a perfect balloon situation, and then it drops the graveyard.
It's like, okay, how much win conditions do you like? Jesus, yes.
Yes is the answer.
Yes is the answer here.
Now the thing
indeed.
is, if that next Royal Giant hits, that may just be match here for Solak.
Another E-Wiz now coming into the arena.
Yeah,
Good
oh, nice
tornado there, delaying the hit.
430. Very close.
Resetting the each.
No
oh,
shot.
The Royal Giant over and over and over again. There's the bomber now coming in.
Unfortunate pull. Yeah, he needs a balloon. He needs to play the balloon.
Yeah, but can he really afford to do so? There's another P.E.K.K.A. now entering
Where's
the arena.
the
Does get
tornado?
pulled away. There's the log to help out. That's
Yeah,
still
that's
quite
it.
a healthy Royal
That's
Giant,
it.
and he gets the hit.
Wow. He was pulled back, but during the pullback, he got that final shot and got the tower here. Nice play for Solak. It was a difficult matchup here for Jesus.
Yeah,
but I
super
think he
clutch.
could have won. It was super close.
Super clutch here indeed for him. Also, how well Jesus defended after that first big Royal Giant attack. Just goes to show how good both of these players really are. And this here was punishing. Also the log here, just fantastic. Making sure the E-Wiz there does get startled and doesn't get to reset.
I mean, even in the
it
previous
over and over.
attack, it was super clutch actually. When he didn't have that tornado just on time, where he got 0 damage from that Royal Giant. I mean, how rare is that actually? The Royal Giant getting no hit on the tower.
I think this is also largely to be attributed to the nerf that the Royal Giant just received, where it takes him longer to fire his first shot. Like that was up by only 0.2 seconds, but in these kind of fringe scenarios, it can really matter. And there, like right at the end, it really came down to milliseconds when that tornado there was deployed. Because if he hadn't gotten that last shot there, Jesus potentially
Yeah.
could have had another counter push
So
at
here
his
we
end.
are. We have a chance here for Solak to close the gap and tie with Jesus.
Yeah, the players here really want to go fast here by the looks of it. They're ready to go back to back here. And yeah, I'm curious here how Jesus decides to adapt. He seemed to have a good read on his opponent there.
Okay,
Deploys that royal
that's an
delivery.
interesting play of the royal delivery.
Yeah, I mean, it's one way to cycle it. And
Oh,
it's a
mortar.
mortar here, actually.
That's risky, but interesting.
I mean, we've seen that deck being brought to like great effect in the past. Fantastic tornado.
Oh, one
coming
shell
in.
hits. Not bad.
Does get the connection. Baby Dragon there does not cross the bridge fully, and therefore
Royal Hawks. Yeah, we've seen that before.
yeah,
Border with
tornado
Royal
though
Hawks.
not in hand. Therefore, no King Tower activation this time around. But the Goblin cage, they're doing a great job of absorbing all the hits, and that's a graveyard here
Yeah.
coming down for Solag. Quite
Yeah.
early.
Not easy.
Aggressive
Another
one here,
royal
but
delivery.
pretty much 0 damage here on the side of Jesus. Fantastic defense there.
There's the mortar. This time it's protected with the knight.
Yeah, they do turn around, take down that barbarian there, and now it's still locked onto those skeletons.
Now it will hit the tower though. No?
No,
Yes.
it's locked onto the dark.
No.
ones.
Ah.
Not quite.
That was close.
Misses by just a little bit. But we've seen this deck being played by Jesus quite a lot, actually.
And it's a very fast cycle of the mortar.
Yeah, it can be run really aggressively here. Now, the Goblin cage is played once again here on defense. But next time those Royal Hawks do get thrown out, the tornado will be there.
Musketeer. I'm not sure he should really have played those 3 goblins because he needs to
there's the
defend
fireball.
against graveyard.
Fireball coming down here with Earthquake for some chip damage. And so far, super, like both of these decks, they're just really good at also like controlling the match.
Yeah, the cannon card is a very MVP card here in this match as
definitely so.
There's
Oh, the
next round
fireball
of
now
Hawks.
not in hand. Tornado though and Goblin Cage are both ready to be deployed, but the
Hawks on
Earthquake, they're doing
tower.
a great job. Look at that damage though.
And here comes the King Tower activation.
Does certainly help, but 1525 HP only just remaining. That having said that, like Graveyard is also one of these decks that just becomes stronger and stronger the longer the match lasts, especially in double and eventually triple elixir time. But I mean,
Fireball.
for Jesus deck, it's pretty much the same deal here. At some point, he can just throw out.
That's the next round of Hawks.
Yeah, he can just throw them down so fast, and his deck kind of has relentless amounts
has
of pressure here.
Amazing control here with that deck.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many threats in Jesus' deck. I mean, you have to make sure you take out the mortar. You can't let the cannon card do what it wants. You also have to make sure the musketeer dies, and that's not even the main win condition. The main win conditions are still the Royal Hawks, and if they ever get past your line of defense, it can
Solak
just be
certainly on the defense here.
Yeah, and also like with that fireball, I don't think he can ever really afford to use that one aggressively to take out Jesus' defense when it comes to.
We also have to say
when the
that Goblin
Graveyard is
Cage
deployed.
works quite well here as a defense
Yeah.
too.
It does, but then the cannon card there is ready.
Spinning.
Spinning around. Now we're into triple elixir time here. Last minute of game. It's about 730 damage advantage here at the moment for
Good
for
push
Jesus.
here for Solak.
Defensive Earthquake there being invested.
Only 30 seconds left. Now it comes down to who does more damage.
Oh, another graveyard back to back here.
This time with the goblins.
Good tornado there, but the
Fireball.
Knight, they're really holding his ground. Fireball is not in hand now.
He closes the damage
Oh,
gap.
look at this though. Fantastic Earthquake. This might be the end here, potentially. No, good defense here once again.
14 seconds left.
Yeah, and now we will see another graveyard here being thrown out. 5 seconds just remaining. If Jesus can defend this one properly and not take too much damage, he will
Super
win this. There's another
close, and
earthquake coming down, and Jesus
That's it.
will take it. Coming back from the dead, or at least being able to fend those skeletons off in that last matchup. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, what
here
a
from
rematch
Jesus.
from the last final here. What a strong play by Jesus. But you could pretty much see that throughout the whole match, Jesus was in control and Solak had to defend against that very aggressively played border. But then in the end, the graveyard still was very dangerous, and Jesus had to play very careful between attack and defending those graveyard
and
pushes.
he did fantastic in that regard. Also, like, big props to Solak that he was even able to hold Jesus at bay for such a long time. I mean, between some great tornadoes, goblin cages, and also the
Royal
fireball
Hawks.
placements, it was really strong here by him. Also this, that he only took like 200 damage here. Just a fantastic job here on defense. Also, he got such great value out of these baby dragons. But as I said, like, look at Jesus' deck, and like, if you decide to run the fireball over something like the poison, for example, yes, you do have a lot better answer against the Royal Hogs, which he certainly needed. But like, he didn't get as much damage onto the tower of Jesus with those graveyards. It's kind of a risk versus reward situation.
So it's sad for Solak that we lose him here in the competition.
Yeah.
Still a very good third place here for Solak, together with the loser of the second semi-final. They will both have the third place. Well played. But on the other hand, congratulations, of course, to Jesus for a great match. He played really strong.
Yeah.
And if he plays like that in the final, it's going to be like really, really difficult for his opponent to win. Next, we're going to find out who his opponent is. Senpai or Adepa. He's very experienced against Senpai.
Yeah,
we can ask him in a few seconds. We will have him here and we can ask him which opponent he would prefer. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, and now like the stakes kind of just got higher also for Senpai in the game to follow, because if he loses against Adipa, we will actually be crowning a new champion of the Swisscom Hero League this upcoming October. So the current champion is out of the competition now, and yeah, the question now is, can the old king come back? Or is it finally time for the new kids on the block? But we have the lovely gentleman in Jesus here with us, and can hopefully get him on screen soon to ask him a couple of questions about that last game.
First we have a quick look on the matchup. That's what they said. And then we'll be able to talk to Jesus. So here's the matchup, 3-1. Pretty clean win, actually. This mortar deck there is certainly something to copy here. Little hint to the audience. Copy that. I think that one's very strong. And besides that, there's not really that much to say here about the decks.
There we go. I'm gonna be playing that one. I really like it, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it teaches you playing Mortar.
I always liked to play Mortar, actually.
And it has my favorite card in it, in the cannon card. Also really like kind of Royal Delivery.
So that's your favorite card now, the cannon card?
Yeah.
I thought it's the clone.
Never.
Well,
I would never.
I hope we get to Jesus very soon. I'm anxious to ask him a few questions here. And yeah, some questions lined up already. Big list of questions.
Yeah. Also, kind of unfortunate here, of course, for Solak. I mean, we mentioned it before the match. I mean, it was a hard decision for him to like pick his opponent, and like also then being punished, and you kind of had or eventually opted to play against your teammate, and then that completely backfiring, and Jesus actually taking him down here 3-1, and looking really convincing while doing so. Like Jesus, he was really kind of predicted him a lot, and kind of knew to begin with. He just seemed a lot more prepared for the matchups coming in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we don't know. Maybe Solak didn't feel so comfortable with the new meta yet. Even though last week we've seen him and he played really strong last week.
That is very true. But I guess last week also we were still at the point where, I mean, that was one day after the patch, people still figuring out stuff. That's usually the point where if you run old decks, you can get a lot of, like, you get a lot of value because you already know how to play your deck, while people are still figuring out how to deal with like the balance changes and such. And then you can kind of get the upper hand. I wouldn't like attribute everything to that. He probably also had a bit of an off day today, but Jesus really convinced me tonight.
So we should have him here on air any minute. We can already see him. Sorry for you guys that you can't see him yet, but we can already see him. He's getting prepared. He looks quite relaxed from what I can say. Yeah, and he's certainly very happy. Production talking to him.
We're still trying to figure out the nitty-gritty technical details here in order to get him ready for the interview here. But that gives us a little bit of a chance also to talk about the finals. Quick reminder for everyone watching tonight. Our grand finals of the Swisscom Hero League powered by ESL Season 6 already will be taking place on the 2nd and 3rd of October. That's Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, we'll be hosting our CSGO finals, and then on Sunday, the finals in Clash Royale as well as League of Legends will be taking place. Make sure you check us out there. We'll be streaming as always on twitch.tv/ESL Swiss. And if you can manage, feel free to come by in person at the Hero Fest.
Without further ado, let's go to the interview. There he is, Jesus. First of all, congrats. You're the first finalist. Amazing to have you. I'm so happy for you. How did it feel here to play against your teammate? How was this matchup for you?
Thanks a lot, Chief. It was really intense, and I didn't think about it was my teammate. I was more like it's anybody in the game. And yeah, I trained a lot yesterday and today, and I was really prepared for his playing style, like cycle decks, like he did. So yeah, I'm really happy about this win.
Yeah, it was a very clean win, and we could really see that you feel quite comfortable with this meta that we now have. Is that the case?
Yeah, I think so, because Royal Hogs are really OP right now, and I can also play my 3 Musketeers because they drop since a little bit of time. They drop like instantly, not like before. And yeah, like bridge spam, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and we loved of course that you played the 3 Musketeers. And your signature card basically, and you also won with him, and it was super to see the emotions there when you got that victory with the 3 Musketeers. Was that something you were especially looking for, having a win with the 3 Muskies again? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, but it's not about, maybe it's about the 3 Musketeers, but it was on my deck list, like the decks I trained in which I have more fun. The most of my wins, like my win rate is the highest with those decks. So yeah, my plan was to play 2 decks in a row that I'm really comfortable, like the P.E.K.K.A. and the 3 Musketeers, and then to surprise him with a really weird deck, but it didn't work.
What's the weird deck?
Yeah, we could tell.
the last one you mean?
No, the P.E.K.K.A. balloon graveyard.
The P.E.K.K.A. balloon, yeah, but that almost worked actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
the goal was to surprise, and
well, you did surprise us definitely. And I was like, okay, true. Yeah, just we'll add in all the win conditions we can find, and that just looked super solid. If you don't mind, like, talk us a little bit through your preparations. I mean, Solak, he is arguably one of the strongest players we currently have in the league. He's always been really proficient when it comes down to the fundamentals. You said, like, he also especially likes to play these aggressive cycle decks. How do you go about when you know, okay, my opponent is really strong, is the currently reigning champion? You faced off against each other last season in last season's finals. How did you really like go about and like analyzing his play style and then preparing your own strategy for it?
Yeah, so I did a few steps in my preparation. First, it was about analyzing, what decks he prefers. So I know a little bit about this from last year, but I looked from this year. After this, I put on I write on paper like the possibility of the bans he would do against me, and the ban I will do against him. So it closed some decks, and then I came back with my deck list, which I'm more comfortable, and I just trained like 8 decks in every case of the bans, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do these decks, and that's it.
And did you actually predict those bans properly, or the decks
I was
that you
thinking
play?
about I was thinking about Mortar or the Cannon card, or maybe the Royal Hogs.
Okay.
But he did ban the Mega Knight, so I was quite happy about this.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's fine for me. I can play my Three Musketeers, I can buy my Royal Hogs, so
Yeah, that's actually interesting because I would have expected him to play the Royal Hawks when he bans the Mega Knight, but he did.
yeah, me too.
So that was actually a surprise. Now, maybe looking forward to the grand finale. It's either Adepa or Senpai that you will face in the finals. Who would you prefer to play against? Do you have any preference?
I would prefer to play against Senpai Rect.
Okay, why is
Really
that?
wish he win his semi-final because I want a remake of the first season.
That would be nice.
First thing off. And then it's because also it's one of my friend. He's also in Geneva sometimes, so we can see each other. And Adipa is really, really strong, I think. I don't think I played bad against him, but he really crushed me, so I don't want to leave this.
Well, that is quite understandable, and it certainly would make for a great storyline to see you go up against, like, after season 1 finals. I still fondly remember especially the moment there when the crowd went wild after like a Sparky shot. I think that was
the Sparky shot.
Yeah,
Sparky.
I think you still relive that shot every night in your dreams.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I hear the sound of the Sparky shot in my head all the time.
Is that your clock sound in the morning? Is the sound of the Sparky?
No, it would be horrible.
All right, enough of potential re-traumatizing here. We heard it like from your side. You really hope to get your possible revenge against Senpai. Other than that, any final words or thank yous or shout outs from your side before we move on to our second match here of the night?
Yes, of course. First, I want to say really well played to my teammate Zolak because he played really well. It wasn't like because he played bad that I won. He was playing well, and I had advantage with maybe the decks or I don't know. And then I wanna thanks my girlfriend who support me all the time, and also Senpai Rect. Actually, I trained with Senpai Rect a lot. And finally, my team, Lausanne Sports, big shout out to them, big love, and yes, I hope they are proud of my performance and that I will bring the title this year.
Yeah, that is
and
awesome.
Of course, thanks to the casters and
Thank
the
you so much.
Bragan doing an amazing job.
We try our best. Thank you very much for the fantastic gameplay and your humble opinions on our questions, of course. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight, and big congrats again to that fantastic victory here. You really managed to take down one of the big names here tonight, and yeah, we'll wish you all the best and best of luck
And
for your
we're
preparation.
really looking forward to the finals.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's gonna be
we will
great.
see in real life again.
Yeah, cool.
Looking forward. Take care until then, and yeah, we'll see you at the finals.
Yeah, take care and bye bye.
Thanks, take care too.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye. There
what
we
an
go.
amazing player.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to speak with him. And yeah, very interesting insights actually in the thought process of preparing, and I think he's ready for the final.
I certainly think so too. Also, like the fact how many times we already gotten to interview Jesus just goes to show you how strong and consistent of a player it is. And I think it's really important to stress that one. Before we head into a break, it's also a bit of time to also stress again that we're complete sellouts, and we want you to follow us on our social media channels. You can find Chief on his Linktree/Chief Avalon, and you can find me as Don_Rigoni pretty much everywhere, especially on Instagram, Twitter, and on Twitch. Look forward to a lot of streams coming your way in October after our grand finale.
Yeah, because it would be boring otherwise till next year.
True that.
Through the cold winter months. Watch my dear friend here on Twitch. That's going to be very interesting. And we're going to have a short break before we get to the second semi-final. You definitely don't want to miss this nail biter. So just grab some snacks and be back right after the break. Do it now.
We're stuck in your car on a Friday night, and we laugh over stuff we try not to talk about. Still your smile keep on heating up the climate, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And by accident, you're getting closer. Oh, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone. Whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing now, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Mit dem Shuttle wäre es natürlich toll, wenn man den nicht vergisst zu machen, weil sonst ist es einfach nervig, wenn man jetzt...
Kannst du mir helfen mit dem WLAN-Passwort?
Mom, geh doch einfach auf die My Swisscom App!
ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Et voilà, Internet ultra rapide.
Toujours pas.
Bah non. Ouais, allô? Ouais, écoutez, j'ai un souci familial. Ça marche pas.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
And welcome back everyone to the second round of tonight with the second semi-final. It's gonna be Senpai Rect against Depa. It's gonna be super cool and we are super hyped, you can tell. Drop us a follow, me, myself and I, Chief Avalon, you find it everywhere, and my dear beautiful friend Luca Don Rigoni also.
There you go.
Thank
you very, very much. And yeah, it's super nice to have you guys back. I hope you were as entertained as we were of this first set of games here between Solak and Jesus. We heard it from the lovely gentleman himself, a very humble winner that he is. He was just super, super prepared. And I mean, he basically, he like really got it on to a point. Like, Solak didn't play bad. He never really did during this season. He just kind of was adequately prepared for him and managed to take him down and made it look quite easy.
Yeah, but now let's go to the next match here, Senpai against Adepa. I think that's a very interesting match. Adepa played very strong this season. Senpai is back as never before. Actually, he's also very strong. So this is a match that is really, really hard to predict. In my opinion, it could go both ways. What do you think? Do you have any expectations for this match?
Well, I have really big expectations for coming out from both of these players. They will give it their all here because it's about nothing less than the entry to our grand finale here, and facing off against Jesus for Senpai Rect, that will kind of be a classic. Like that's kind of El Clasico of the Swisscom Hero League here. Jesus versus Senpai Rect, and would just also make for a great story. But also, like, Adipa, don't underestimate the guy. He just came into the Division 1 this season. He came out swinging, looked fantastic. Like in the beginning, it was still a little bit shaky, maybe the nerves, but he certainly delivered. And not only in terms of gameplay, but also in terms of entertainment. I mean, I hope everyone at this point has seen it on our Twitter feed last week. We had a bit of a compilation going on from Adipa, and yeah, the bit of showing a bit of his memeier side, which was always super enjoyable to watch the guy not just enjoy the game, but also himself a little bit. And I think that's just a great spirit to be bringing to the competition here. And
yeah, he certainly has that newcomer advantage. People did not really know what to expect from him in those matches. Most players didn't play him before, at least not in the Hero League. Because this is his first season and he's already in the semi-final. I mean, that speaks for itself. And then also, yeah, the memes. It's really interesting. I actually hope for some fun things to happen. Some play with sunglasses and stuff. Some funny trolling of his opponent.
But I mean, today will be for not just for Adipa but also for Senpai will probably be like full focus mode, because there's a lot on the line here, to be gained but also to be lost. I mean, they made it all the way into the semifinals. Now they of course want to get their ticket for the grand finale too, but the opposing player is standing off the way of those plans, so it will not be an easy undertaking. I expect quite the back and forth actually. During the regular season, Semperect managed to take down Adipa actually. But then again, like we have kind of a triangle, you know. Semperect beat Adipa, Adipa beat Solag, and Solag beat Semperect. That was kind of the triangle of where they can all like defeat each other. And yeah, we'll have to see whether Semperect can redo that, or whether Adipa this time around is more prepared, because when they faced off it was really clutch. I think we had like one was down to 2 HP and one was like at 120 HP, like such small details in a 3-2, so it really could have gone either way.
As a wise man once said, it's gonna be either a clean 3-0 win or it's gonna be a very close win for either of them.
Yeah, probably. Like that's very likely at this point. I personally think it will probably be a 3-2 here, and yeah, and quite intense once again, since both of like Atipa is just so solid when it comes to like the basics. He's also really good at playing aggressively, and that's something that that Senpai from time to time really struggles with. Senpai though is a player who's he's kind of a jack of all trades. He can play a lot of things. He certainly has his preferences in terms of decks and cards, but he's also like a player who oftentimes ramps up over. He doesn't like come in and just like completely destroys his opponent most of the time. He always like goes about it quite methodically, and he's kind of the tactician, you know, the big brain mastermind.
So we already have the bans for you guys. They're right here. And we have Senpai banning the Hunter and Adipa banning the Tornado. It's not so obvious actually, those bans.
Quite the interesting reads here. I really, like, I always love the Tornado ban, because it's also one of these cards that's just in so many archetypes that is so flexible. You can use it to activate King Tower, like far and foremost. That's like the best use, I think, and can counter a lot of things. So for me, a little bit of an indicator that this might be quite an aggressive game plan here for Adipa, like playing a bit to those weaknesses of Senpai here. Potentially, we'll have to see. And yeah, also like it's great for ensuring like AoE damage. You can pull back troops onto your opponent's towers. We also seen Adipa doing a great job of like using that those really high skill tornadoes when he was playing like siege decks. He really likes that mortar, when he just pulled his opponent's tank into the other side of the arena in order to ensure connections with his expos or mortars. So really high skill card.
Do you expect Senpai to play tankier decks here because he bans the Hunter, like maybe a Golem, maybe a Giant, stuff like that?
Or like also his kind of air heavy decks, like he really likes the Lava Hound.
Those have become very strong, the Balloon and the Lava Hound decks.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think when you're already missing the Hunter, the answers, like the decent answers against air units, they start to dwindle quite fast, because Baby Dragon, for example, isn't really good against it. E-Dragon isn't really in the meta, even though it's possibly one of the best cards in order to deal with like air units. Probably the E-Wisp, but that one's also like more of a stall card and not really doing a ton of damage. And then things like the Spear Goblins, for example, or also even the Firecracker, that can be quite vulnerable because they are so squishy. And then there's also the Musketeer, which is probably the best answer at this point that Adipa has, if Senpai really decides to go for like an air heavy deck.
It could also be kind of a playing psychology here, kind of make Adipa believe he's gonna play tanks, and then he plays those really fast bridge spam decks like Hog Rider or stuff like that. Maybe it's also a good trick. So it's either or. Either he's playing fast or he's going tanky. With the Tornado, it's kind of hard to tell because it doesn't really tell anything about the plan that the Deppa has.
For me, I just like grasping by the current state of the meta, I could really see Adipa bringing a lot of Royal Hawk decks here, because that one has gotten so strong with the buffs. Even the Hunter, to a certain extent, plays into his hands there, because it's not the worst answer to the Royal Hawks. And if the Tornado is missing, you just need the Earthquake, which is pretty much always run these days in the Royal Hawks decks, that you can just take out buildings and get like insanely big pushes in there. There's no activated King Tower to really help you out, and you also can't really push them back and like effectively deal with them with something like Firecracker or Bomber or Dark Prince or whatever you decide to run. So it's like your tools become a lot more limited.
Yeah, if you're in the shoes of Senpai here, you certainly bring something like a Mega Knight or at least a building to prepare for the Royal Hawks, because that's really a good option here for Adipa right now that he could be playing.
Yeah.
Besides that, it's quite possible actually that he's going with Lava Hound.
Yeah, I could really see that. And probably whatever he does, it's probably best advice here for Senpai to run the Fireball, whatever there is. It's just still such a strong card. Still,
Fireball is always a good advice actually. It's just one of the best balanced cards.
If you don't know which spells to run in your decks, run Barb Barrel and run Fireball. Those are like the kind of the always goes options that you really have. Which are super efficient.
If you use the log, that's a clear indication that you haven't been playing for like 1.5 years.
Or that you're really good and you want to make sure that your spells also get chip damage on your enemy tower. But oftentimes the Barb Barrel is kind of the safer option. It's like it's harder to place technically when you're going up against something like Logbait. By the way, Logbait also kind of gets more enabled by the absence of the Tornado, because also there, like if you cannot activate King Tower, that helps you a lot. And we just said it, like it came back quite a bit into the meta by the changes. For those of you who did not catch that, Supercell changed it so that the range of the changed Fire Spirit is lower, because before that, if your opponent was to deploy a Goblin Barrel onto your tower, you could just place a Fire Spirit. It would jump on onto one of the goblins, explode, and kill all three of the goblins, and you'd essentially just gain 2 elixir, which of course was quite punishing and pretty much killed the archetype completely. And ever since those changes and when they nerfed that range just last week, it actually looks a lot better again, because and it's like one of these archetypes that I think, as long as there are not counters like that, will always find a place in the meta, because it is such a high skill ceiling deck. It is quite aggressive, has a low and fast cycle, and you can kind of always make it work.
It is true that 1 week after the balance changes, it feels more diverse actually. We've seen more different decks and also more aggressive plays than we've seen before. So so far I think those balance changes have turned out to be quite good.
Yeah, I find interesting that we barely see any E-Giant deck anymore, but this might also be due to the fact that, I mean, we're into playoffs now, even into semifinals, and generally beatdown decks, they have very clear counters, and on this skill level that we're at here with our players, it can be very punishing if you opt into like a clear-cut counter for,
and I missed the
opponent.
Sparky. That's my most missed card. Yeah, Sparky is always lovely. I love it to see Sparky play. Trash can on wheels. It's fun.
Indeed, indeed.
But it has disappeared. That's kind of sad. Also, the Elixir Golem. I would love a little Elixir Golem comeback. But it's pretty obvious why it's not played, because it is so punishing when you're able to counter it. And
But
at the moment, just one bomber is actually enough to counter it really well.
Yeah, but I mean, like Senparak, he's shown in the past that sometimes he's willing to throw caution to the wind, kind of, or especially when he like gets put behind and is really struggling. He sometimes just like goes completely off the rails and brings something unexpected to the table to like gain some momentum back, throw his opponent off his A game, and then like even in the past he's managed to come back off of such plays. And yeah, we'll have to see what he has prepared here for tonight, as the players are currently getting ready to jump into our first game here of this match.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the players. They should be ready any minute. I assume that Adepa has been preparing some cool surprises for us here. And yeah, of course, good luck to both of the players for this upcoming semi-final.
Yeah, also make sure, of course, if you're in Twitch chat here, that you show a little of love and spam in the chat. And if you all want to chip in or give feedback about these games, make sure you tag us on Twitter at ESL Swiss, or with hashtag ESL Swiss, or at Swisscom_gaming, and drop us a follow there as well. We're about to head into the game here. Who is your, like, if you had to make a bet, who would you put your money on?
It's really difficult, and I have to be careful here not to, yeah, put emotion overhead, kind of, because emotionally I would say Senpai, but I'm not so sure that that is actually true, that Senpai will win this. Adepa played really strong. I think it's a difficult matchup for Senpai, so I don't know, it's a head or tail kind of situation.
So let's check it out here. Jump into game number 1 between Adepa and Senparak. They will be deciding who will be joining Jesus himself in the grand finale on the 3rd of October at the Hero Fest in Bern. Senpai rocking that fresh new haircut here.
Minor for Senpai.
Adepa has the Fisherman here as an answer. Let's pull the miner into the middle of the arena here. We might just see a fireball here potentially coming down. No, it is actually the poison here for Senparak. Minor poison here. Back to
the guard is actually
classic.
kind of a trademark card here for Adepa. He plays it all the time.
Those Royal Recruits, they've certainly gained a bit of popularity here. Senparak also rocking those newly buffed guards, of course, as those recruits get a bit of a stabby onto that left tower here, equaling out the damage counter for now. And yeah, also we can really see here, I mean, Senparak just straight up opting for minor control. And a minor control archetype here.
Adepa more on the aggressive side.
Oh, that's a missed snowball here. Again, we've already seen him mess that one up last week. And this time it does not cost him the full tower yet, but it does take quite a bit of damage.
Yes,
and it is actually the lava hound for him.
We predicted it.
Like, both of these players just opting for what has worked for them in the past. Sticking to, like, yeah, bit of a classic for each of them. There's another poison now coming down, and that will be a lot of damage here onto the right-hand side for Adepa.
But so is the Lava Hound and the Baby Dragon.
Yeah, there's also the Inferno Dragon now taking on that Lava Hound.
Minor for distraction.
Does absorb the puppies here as well.
Puppies going
they
against
do
the
go
Lava
down.
Hound. Inferno Dragon.
Also the Fisherman here, absorbing a lot of hits. 14-20 HP remaining now on the left here. Damage lead so far.
It was a good push for Senpai after all.
Yeah, it was really decent. But with that kind of split pressure deck here for Adepa, he has like the options on both sides of the arena. Clutch Goblin Cage, they're
Nice
coming down.
catch.
But the Ram Rider still alive, does finally fall there to the hands, or rather the fists, of that Goblin Brawler. And now there's another Fisherman here, making sure there's no damage. Another Poison. Poison getting a lot of great value.
Also, the Inferno Dragon actually did really good on that tower.
Yeah. Getting a bit of chip now on both sides actually. Senpai got some significant
I
damage.
feel like Adepa also has to be careful that he's not building up the push for Senpai with the Royal Recruit.
Yeah, and there's another. Oh, look at that Ram Rider though. That's still quite a healthy one. Does connect. That cheeky Royal Recruit is also still on there. And that's
here
700
comes a good
HP.
push for Senpai with the lava. That's what I meant.
I currently
with
asked
those
myself,
guards,
yeah, okay.
he also prepared a push for Senpai.
Just asked myself, what could that last card there be in Adepa's decks? It is the Fireball here. Great job of
Yeah, we're
dealing with
missing
that
the
push.
clone.
And look at this though, the damage. It's down to a T. Like on the right hand side, it's 24 damage of a difference. On the left hand side, it's what? 20. It's also 23. Are you kidding me? Okay. But that's a ton of damage here coming down for Adepa. Great pressure here from his side. Ram Rider here could potentially connect. There's the snowball coming down, taking it out quite clutchly here.
Yeah, so far it's pretty much the way we expected it. It's very close between those two players.
Another Ram Rider now.
Not giving an inch to the other one.
Yeah, now Semperek has to pay a lot of attention to those Ram Riders. Make sure.
Chippity chip.
Gets pulled away now though by the Fisherman.
And the poison, it's all down
HP
to
remaining.
that chip damage.
Okay, there's the cycle now starting for Adepa. That's 3 more fireballs here actually. Once again here, good pull. But look at this though, this will be...
that is tower for Senpai.
Senpai getting onto
the very
the board
last
first.
second. Only 1 second left, and then a little mistake, a little misplay by Adepa, and Senpai gets on the tower with the baby dragon.
Can have another look at this one here. First of all, like in the beginning, good defense here from Adepa, and then he realized, okay, I kind of have to start cycling spells now. Good defense here coming out. Like I love the adaptation coming out for Senpai, realizing, okay, that Ram Rider is actually quite threatening, and I have to take it out. And then this fireball here was too greedy.
That was too aggressive.
Yeah, this fireball should have gone on defense. Adepa with a cheeky smile there. He knew that one. He wanted too much there. He should have.
If he plays that fireball for defense, he can actually defend one more time.
Yeah.
And he's got the lead until that moment. I think he actually got the lead. So if it goes into the tiebreaker, he could win.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, in the end, a good job for Senpai also to keep up the pressure high, and also making sure he starts dealing with those Ram Riders more efficiently. Because you could see, like in the beginning, a few of those Ram Riders managed to sneak through, got some quite good damage in onto Senpai's tower. And then suddenly he did not only invest the Goblin Cage, but also the guards on top of it. And then they actually managed to take out the Ram Rider without any harm being done. Of course, a lot of elixir invested, but like between his spells, he was able to make quite efficient works of that kind of spammy, split-pushing deck archetype, especially with the Baby Dragon.
In this match, we've already seen how close they actually are. Those two decks, it was a difficult matchup for both of them, and it was super close. Both really strong players, so yeah, I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, I mean, we expected nothing less here, and they're certainly both delivering here. I still felt like they were still a bit, you know, like getting a grasp for the other. I mean, both of them running rather defensive deck, both of them running the Inferno Dragon, like being like just in case, you know, you don't want to get overrun.
Senpai is the 4 times champion. Yeah. I mean, you better play careful against him.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely agree with the line of strategy here for both of these players, and I'm looking forward whether they are going to keep it at this or like ramp up the pace a bit, trying to
Actually,
catch each
Adipa was
other
a little bit more on
guard.
the aggressive side in that previous matchup.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Well-
yeah, we are still preparing for game
Yeah.
number 2 here.
we're
Some
actually waiting on Adipa at the moment.
maybe some adaptations here coming out for
Maybe some quick
next-
meditation, some quick thinking about his decks.
getting another iced tea ready, maybe, you know.
I don't know. Trying some surprise decks.
But we are ready to jump into game right now.
There we go.
And there we are, game number 2 here on the board between Adipa and Senpai Rect.
Yeah, now I'm really curious what they're gonna play.
Yeah, let's
Goblin Hut.
Okay. Could potentially be, or I'm just automatically assuming when there's a Goblin Hut in the arena that this is going to be the double spawner deck here for Senpai Rect.
Could be, could be.
And like as mentioned in the past, that's a deck that really ramps up over time, and if you don't have like great answers to deal with those buildings, it can become quite painful and annoying. As there's a snowball now coming down, and that will spawn the first toggle in here for the Mother Witch. Oh, that's a bit of a interesting barb barrel there. Doesn't cost him too much there, luckily.
Another balloon for Senpai. That's interesting. He tries the balloon this
Ooh.
time.
Adipa here
So
trying,
still
and
going air.
we've seen that matchup in the past. It's not really the greatest one for the balloon deck because there are so many buildings in there. Great fireball value here for Senpai Rect, as he does also have the E-barbs. They're just great at dealing with cards like the miner especially, and also the Mother Witch here, getting a lot of value in for Senpai Rect. Seems like a bit of an advantageous matchup here this time around for Senpai Rect here, as that Hogling is whacking away at the left-hand tower down to 20, 50, and 15.
Senpai playing this
45
very
respectively.
careful at the moment.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. He knows, okay, he pretty much knows the deck at this point. If he has prepared, which he certainly has, he knows that Adipa has brought this deck in the past. He's he really likes playing these aggressive kind of archetypes. There's another round of E-barbs
the
here now coming
E-barbs.
down. And yeah, Balloon here not having the best of times.
Not getting to the tower, but it may have a little damage there.
Yeah. Good for Adipa that he actually has the ice golem as well as those skeletons to be dealing with those E-barbs. Otherwise, this matchup could already be looking quite a bit different here.
The next balloon miner push not successful because Senpai has the building.
Yeah, and just to make sure, a third building or like a half building here
Yeah, it's
in
rough.
the cannon cart.
It's rough with the double building for the balloon.
Yeah, certainly not easy. Not even death damage here for Adipa. But he
Adipa
keeps up the pressure.
very aggressive.
Miner, balloon, miner, balloon, miner, balloon. And at some point here, Senpai Rect does not have a building anymore to answer this one. Has to invest the fireball, and that's a ton of damage here and there.
And
It's
the
also the
musketeer.
musketeer onto the tower. That's one snowball away here from taking that first round. I am telling
Almost.
lies.
Almost. Tell
But,
me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I wonder what the last card here actually is in Adipa's deck. Oh, it is.
Yeah, the bomb tower is a good counter here.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even need it so far because he was just able to counter everything otherwise.
I think we didn't promise too much here. Adipa is a very strong opponent for
Time for a sip
Senpai.
of that iced tea there, indeed, because he did fantastic. Like Senpai Rect, he had the answers here theoretically between those two buildings, but Adipa certainly made sure that those exchanges are as expensive as humanly possible here for Senpai Rect. And we could see it there, like him just absorbing a full-on push with like cannon cart and E-barbs just by deploying like a barb barrel, an ice golem, and the skeletons.
I mean, that minor balloon push with a musketeer, over time, that has just become unstoppable here for Senpai.
Yeah, and Adipa did great what you exactly should do in these matchups, where you're like, in the slow game plan, you are at a disadvantage. Nobody doubts that, but he made sure, okay, what I don't have to like overrun my opponent with like one big balloon. My objective is to deal as much damage to like my opponent's elixir pool as I can. Make him pay, make those defenses super expensive, and then repeat that 2 times, 3 times until you have like the bigger savings, you know, until you have that elixir power, you know, and then you really step on the gas and you make sure you absorb their pressure very efficiently, and then go all in like on the other side.
I mean, he always kept the pressure high with his pushes, and for Senpai it was basically defense or risk not stopping the balloon by attacking. And at the end you could see he tried to attack with the E-barbs, but that was exactly the moment where he did not have the buildings.
Not the
that's
best
where
calculate.
he could not defend anymore. So,
excuse me. Why? I'm not.
What did you calculate?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
That's because of your wrong snowball prediction.
Well, okay.
Let's get into the match here. Forget about the snowballs.
Snowball deals 52 damage on.
No balls for snowballs.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's
maybe you
really
should get the production guy here instead of Luca.
There's like an inappropriate joke about snowballs, which I don't remember anymore.
What about snowballs?
I'm not sure.
Are they freezing yet?
Like, how can you tell a snowman from a snow woman? Snowballs. Yeah, it was that.
Well,
I apologize.
Yes, it was that bad. There's a graveyard on the tower.
And there's a poison as the answer.
Yeah, that's unfortunate here for Adipa.
Oh, but look at this. That's a healthy Valkyrie. And a healthy baby dragon behind it.
Yeah.
Senpai is laughing, but...
a cynical laugh, that is.
I think he's more dying on the inside here. No, okay, this is not looking great here. Losing 2,300 damage in the first 1.5 minutes of the match here. He knows this one seems a little over, if you ask me. But let's not.
He can always come back. I mean, Senpai has turned games often here in the past.
Yeah. Let's not count him out quite yet. It looks like that he's also running what I'm assuming a graveyard deck here, Senpai that is, and those they can really come back fast, like 1 or 2
with the mortar.
Efficient.
Yeah, this one really goes in favor of Adipa. He has strong counters here for Senpai. It's really difficult.
Also making sure
killing him slowly with snowballs. I mean, that's quite a punishment.
Killing me softly with snowballs.
Okay, that I don't know.
Okay,
I mean, if you don't know that to talk about Clash Royale, that sounds kind of weird. Killing me softly with snowballs.
I mean,
yeah.
Baby Dragon here really
Taken
being
out
the
of
MVP in this matchup.
Maybe you should not repeat that out of context.
Killing me softly with snowballs. Okay. Tower there going down now finally for Adipa here, and now it's over to Senpai here with his graveyard, but I don't think he can really come back into this. That's only 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
It's impossible, and you know it by the looks of his face.
He knows.
And his drinking.
Yeah, Adipa also leaning back here, getting a sip of that iced tea ready.
Yeah, that's already a 2-1 lead here for Adipa, so that means actually Adipa has 2 match points now.
What looked quite convincing in the first game here for Senpai was quickly turned around here by our friend Adipa. And
It
yeah,
was a
this-
good prediction by Deepak. A great rock scissors paper prediction here.
I mean, they were running such a similar deck here. I mean, the only difference, I think, was the baby dragon instead of the cannon card, and Zenpyrek. Oh yeah, Zenpyrek didn't have the bar barrel, and had the spear goblins instead. And
The
also
beer
had
goblin.
The beer goblin, and also running the mortar, which. Like the baby dragon was just a fantastic answer to and the goblin cage
Did you
against.
see? Did you notice that now we have match point here?
I did realize that about
It's-
3 weeks ago, my
it's-
friend.
I want to compliment production.
Oh, okay.
Because you missed on that. Production is doing a really great job here with those overlays, and yeah, a really great job with the overlays, and so that we now also display the match points. We have those beautiful. Luca doesn't like snowballs anymore. It's understandable. It's freezing cold, and killing him soft with snowballs.
Who likes cold balls, honestly? Like,
that sounds
nobody
like
does.
quite a torture.
Yeah.
Being killed with snowballs. I mean,
Also, sounds like quite the long and painful process.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how hard you make them, I guess, or how cold, or whatever.
Okay. We're not gonna go into the details of what you just said.
Well.
I think that didn't come out quite as intended.
Came out just like as intended, I'd argue. But yeah, we're getting ready for match number 4 here game number 4 rather, between Zenpyrek and Adipa here, and it's already down to the wire. Yeah, I'm so pleasantly surprised by this guy.
Adipa.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Our Swisscom Hero League flash
SCG
marker.
Flash. What's that? Flash mark.
Like
Like.
we'll have to Google that. But
Okay.
before we do that, we head back into game here between Adipa and Zenpyrek. Adipa currently up 2-1 here. Can just seal the deal and get his ticket for the grand finale in his first ever season in the Swisscom Hero League, powered by ESL.
Yeah, and Senpai, of course, trying to close this little gap here, make it a tie, keeping his chances to get to the finals real. I think if Adipa makes it, he's gonna be a very strong finalist against G's. G's already said so.
Okay.
So here's the Lava Hound and the Golem. Wow, what a matchup.
Well, the good thing here for Adipa, the building on the side of Zenpyrek is already out of cycle. Bad thing here for him, oftentimes in that kind of matchup, we see the lower cost win condition, or like the lower cost tank win,
The
which in
Lava
this
Hound.
case would be the Lava Hound.
It used to
And,
be
it
that
actually
way.
gets to the tower here. Snowball, they're also coming down.
Yeah, it
Guards
used to be
doing-
exactly that way. I'm not sure if that is still true. So I'm very curious to see this. We haven't seen that matchup in a while.
Look at this exchange though here. Both of them nearly doing the same amount of damage, just like
Especially in double
160.
elixir, the Lava Hound will have a huge advantage.
Yeah, I think so too. But then again, we haven't really seen too much out of Adipa's deck, and that one will be big. Having the okay, yeah, there's the good game from Zenpyrek. He knows. Okay, E-Golem will make it significantly harder here.
Yeah, but
to
he's
deal.
got a building, so
He does.
he can still play the Inferno Dragon on the Lava
Does he
Hound.
have it though?
He plays
It
it
goes
actually on
in
the
there.
E-Wisp.
Wants to make
E-Dragon.
sure to take out that
Taking out the
Drag.
Golem with the guards. Interesting action.
Yeah, also Snowball there coming out from him. Great prediction there onto Miner as the
That
guards
was
are now
quite
coming
interesting
down.
that he didn't play the obvious, the Inferno Dragon against the Golem.
Yeah, I mean, he was sure he can absorb it there. Oh, that's also interesting here. The Prince coming in here. Also, great placement there from the guards of Zenpyrek. I really like that both of these players showing off the newly buffed cards here. Guards in both of their decks, as well as the Snowball.
Senpai preparing another great push.
Yeah. This one
Here's
could
the
be a big
Inferno
one
Dragon.
here. drag could be coming down here. No, decides against it, but good snowball here to make sure he resets.
Yeah, but that golem is
the
just
Inferno Dragon
melting.
1.
Uh-oh, that turns into a strong counter push for Senpai.
Yeah, but then again, like, there's the Prince now coming down. Snowball here to try and knock everything
no
back, but the
guards.
Prince will connect! Ladies and gentlemen, Adipa is your second finalist for Season 6 in the Swisscom Hero League. What a play to close out the game.
Prince, that caught Senpai really
Holy
off guard,
moly.
that Prince. He didn't have the guards to stop him.
He didn't have the Goblin Cage in hand either.
Wow.
And he knew, okay, my dude, it's time. Now or never.
I'm sad, though, that Senpai is out of the competition with this, but on the other hand, it's it's going to be an interesting match too here, Adipa
Also-
against Jesus.
Also, the discipline here to make sure to not like get baited, because this was a complete bait play by Senpai here to make sure that he plays the E-Drag on the right.
This Prince
and
here,
then it would have been startled by the Lava Hound, which in this case it didn't. It could just march forward and enable the Prince. Fantastic play here from Adipa. Gives the cheeky smile there to the camera as well. He knows he got him dirty there.
That Prince was unstoppable. No guards to stop him.
Yeah.
No buildings to stop him. And he was still busy with destroying the golem when the Prince started.
Yeah. Like the live feed of that Prince was like, can't stop me now.
Well,
I'm
anyways,
having a good time.
we have to say thank you to Senpai for a great season. He started really strong. Unfortunately, this time he didn't make it to the grand final. He is stopped in the semi-final. So no title number 5 here for Senpai. Once again.
Last time he was conquered by Toy Boy already one stage earlier. And this time around, Adipa seals the deal here for him.
So the newcomer, Adipa, makes it to the finals. What a surprise that is.
You know what that means? We'll be crowning once again a new champion here. After we had 4 seasons back to back to back to back with Senpai as our reigning champion. Last season, Solag marked the first new champ. And this time around, we'll be having another new champion. And it will either be Adipa or Jesus. Let's have a look at the deck here that both of these players opted in for.
There we go. I mean, the Golem deck and the Lava Hound deck is typically an advantage for the Lava Hound deck, especially in double elixir time. I think, as we mentioned earlier, there was a little playing mistake there in the end. And Senpai did not expect that Prince, which is a strong card once it gets to the tower, and it can hide behind that Golem pretty well.
That was a super cool tech choice here from Adipa.
He just didn't expect it.
I just want to stress that play again here, that Adipa decided to play the E-Drag in the middle of the arena rather than in front of the Lava Hound, and like be like, okay, I have time. Lava Hound is a win condition that takes a lot of time because like it gets to the tower and then it needs to die first before those puppies that are like the big threat of that deck actually spawn. And he was like, okay, this is my opportunity. If I play the E-Drag in the middle here, I can take out his potential counter push, I can take out the guards, and then sneak in that Prince.
Maybe we, production, could we see that play again?
We can have a look at it.
Yes, the final play before we get to a short interview with the winner. If he's not ready, otherwise we speak to the winner directly, if he's ready.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, no, that's okay. So we head to the interview with the winner, a happy winner.
And there
we go.
Adipa. Let's get him on screen. The king of memes, the current finalist, the newcomer,
there he is.
Adipa himself,
Hello.
aka Adrian. How are you doing, mate?
Congratulations to that amazing victory here against our 4-time champion Senpai Rect. And yeah, you're the newcomer of this season, but you made it to the finals. Congratulations to that. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you so much. I never expected that. Senpai is such a strong opponent, and yeah, he's a lot of experience. But yeah, I got a little bit lucky with my matchups, but yeah, in the end it paid off.
Yeah, it was not only lucky. I think you played it really stable and very strong. I mean, just speaking of that Prince in the last match, I mean, that was so unexpected by Senpai and really caught him off guard. That was really well played there.
Yeah, I expected the Lava Hound deck once again. And yeah, I thought when I play E-Dragon, I have a good answer to his Inferno Dragon. And yeah, I was so nervous in the last game, so things were going so wild, and yeah, I just played. Yeah, and somehow I won.
Yeah, well.
Chief already said it. You're like one of our new, well, together with Baumbert, you were one of the 2 new faces that we welcomed to the Division 1 here of the Swisscom Hero League in Clash Royale. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you get into the game? What like makes you passionate about Clash Royale? What's your favorite card?
Yeah, my real name is Adrian. I'm 21 years old, and I play Clash Royale since the date of release, like 5 years. I played a lot of for Team Switzerland in the Nations League, and yeah, my favorite card got buffed, and Senpai, he knew that, he knew me many years, and he know I'm very good with Hunter, and it's one of my favorite cards. So he banned that. He brought Lava Hound the first deck and played it so well, and yeah, I didn't know then I would come back to this game.
I actually do remember you, I think, from many CR Nations and World Royale League matches, where you also were one of the MVPs of the Swiss team, like every time, and yeah, you played really strong, and I think you got a lot of wins there for the Swiss team. Actually, I'm not sure, did you also play in the Royal Premier League at the time, or not?
I thought it was like 3 years ago I played for Swiss Bandits.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Then the team name changed to Venom Esports, I think. And yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and already at the time, Adepa was somebody to count on. He was really super strong, and as we see here, he still is.
Yeah,
so amazing plays. I'm really happy also now to have Adepa in the finally, of ESL Swiss.
Yeah, so like as a long-standing veteran of the game, what are a bit your thoughts maybe on the game? Like, having played ever since it came out, do you like the game how it currently is? What are like some things you'd wish for the future, or are you like happy with it as it currently is?
Like I said, I played since the release date, and last season before the balance changes, I didn't like the meta at all. It was too many E-Giants and Mother Witch. And now I think with the new balance changes, it's a more balanced game. You can play more stuff, and like the Hunter again and the Guards were 2 cards that were dead, and now we have a lot of more options for your decks, and I think the game is a lot better now.
Yeah. So heading into the finals now, and facing off against Jesus, who I think was also part of Team Switzerland, like in the past.
I think so.
Actually,
I'm not sure. I think we also had one of those competitions where the team played against viewers on my channel, and I think at least Adepa, you were also part of the team then and played against viewers. Is that right? I have to check it on my channel. I'm not sure anymore.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I just played, when you streamed, I just played Nations League, and a long time ago for Swiss Bandits and Venom Esports. But yeah, that was a team with only Swiss members. That was a lot of fun.
So maybe it was cheese. I'm not sure. I have to check.
But yeah, like how are you, like your preparations going to be looking like heading into the finals? Are you super nervous? Are you like pretty relaxed? I mean, how do you feel about like your first live appearance, maybe also at a competition?
Yeah, I think it will be so much different because right now I play. I'm alone in my room, and yeah, and then there will so many viewers, and I don't know. I will just play my game, and we'll see.
Okay, fantastic. Maybe also like I also want to mention a bit the elephant in the room. Like, what's up with the memes? Like
speaking about me, the elephant in the room. Come on, I'm not.
I did it with Solak because I know him like since a very long time. Like since I played the game.
Yeah.
I played so much with him in esports teams and Nations League, and yeah, and I know him very well and have a lot of fun with him. And yeah, he was a number. When I play against him, he was number 1 in the groups and never lost one game. And I thought when I do some stuff like that, I can confuse him a little bit and catch a bits off guard with that.
So that was actually really fun, and we really
Yeah.
enjoyed those little show elements.
So it's like part memer and part cold-blooded tactician, you know, throw my opponent
Yeah,
off
right.
off his A game. I like it. I like it. It's a little more spice here in our Swisscom Hero League here. Yeah, maybe
It was really fun to watch. We did enjoy
certainly
that.
certainly was some of the best Clash Royale action that we've ever seen here in all of the 6 seasons, I think, so far. And we want to thank you for that. But before we close out the interview, we also want to give you the chance, of course, to throw out some thank yous or some shout outs to people that have been helping you along your journey, that have been supporting you. It's all yours.
Yeah, I want to thank you, all you, the casters, and all the people who make it possible to play in this league, and of course my coach and manager Florian, who helps me a lot with the decks and the choose and the buns, what deck I play, how I play against my players. He helps me a lot with it, and of course all my friends, my families who supports me, and yeah, thank you.
That's awesome and amazing. And with that, we wish you a lot of luck and a great competition in the final, and we're really looking forward to meet you in person at the grand final.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, looking forward. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening. Big congrats again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we're gonna be seeing you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Another humble winner here we got. I just love this about the Swiss Clash Royale community, you know. Everyone is so humble and wholesome, and I think at this point, see I'm already getting a little sentimental. I of course also want to thank you, because like at the beginning I was like, when I started casting the Swisscom Hero League and Clash Royale here, I felt like an outcast, you know, the new guy. He didn't know shit, didn't know the name of the cards, didn't know the strategies. And,
the rogue, you mean?
Yeah, the rogue.
When
exactly.
you spoke about rogue and cards, yeah. But I think you're doing really well, and you learned fast. And
I'm trying.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I also want to thank, of course, also our viewers and the community for welcoming me like that, because I don't think these days that is something that you find everywhere. I think it's a great thing that we have in the Swiss, not only in the Swiss esports community as a whole, but in like Clash Royale in particular, where it's really like it's, you know, the power of friendship. It's like
I feel like it's the
most
mobile
important thing.
game community that is generally very friendly and helpful. And there's almost no toxicity in, be it Brawl Stars, Clash Royale, those kind of games.
You can't really say that about a lot of other titles.
Yeah, but that's really the beauty of it, and I think for myself that's probably also one of the reasons why I still enjoy those games, because it's really a great community playing those games, supporting each other. So yeah, that's really cool. And another humble player here, and of course we're very privileged that we have a chance to play with the players, to speak to the players.
Well, we could also play with them someday. I doubt we'll do
I actually did
super well.
In the second final. I think I played with a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't want to play against me. Okay.
No.
I
No, I
recognize
prefer the
that,
pros actually.
Okay, before we close out for the evening here, we want to have another look here.
Quick look at
how
that.
Adipa actually managed to take down our 4-time champion here in Senpai Rect.
So here's
There
that
we
great
go.
play once again. Luca, please explain what happened here.
Yeah, here good push with the guard cycling behind the tower, and then look here. I mean, if the Lava Hound on the right could just fly by here, he gets the first reset onto the Inferno Dragon, does not quite manage to pull to like push him out of range, but then this E-Drag here that is like a big threat, and like just marches on there, also stalls the Inferno Dragon there, and then
Did I just see that he played, or he tried to play the miner there at the very end in front of the prince, but that didn't work.
Yeah, he was like too far forward, and I think he already clicked the card. And even then, like it could have been really close, because I'm personally also always like, that's bullshit when I see like when a prince charges at you. We can have another quick look at that. How much damage the prince really does. I mean, the charge would have pretty much nearly one-shot the miner. And
maybe we should have double prince decks again.
Maybe
With
it could be a
golem
worthwhile
double prince.
consideration. Or like a giant,
try
or like a
again.
giant double prince deck.
So here's another replay of that amazing moment where Adepa
there's like
qualified himself for the final. There's the prince.
The can't stop me
stabbing.
now moment. And yeah, boom, boom goes the tower. And look at the dedication on like Adipa's face. He's like,
yeah,
you know what's up. Your boy is here, and yeah,
There you go.
ready to take some names. Ready.
Yeah, I can't really wait for that final. Two new players here. Jesus against Adepa. That's gonna.
Production also wants to do it backwards, so
That's
we'll do that as well. We'll do
Definitely
everything
gonna be
tonight.
a great final. And actually, we spoke about it in the short break. We kind of thought that Senpai could win, but then on the other hand, we thought, yeah, Adepa is really strong. I'm not so sure that Senpai will actually win this. And also that prediction became kind of true. Let's have a quick look at the bracket.
Head over heart here, so to speak. And yeah, another last look here at the bracket, how we got into the finals here. That, by the way, will be taking place on the 3rd. It says 2nd. I think I'm quite convinced it's actually the 3rd. It's on Sunday that we'll have our Clash Royale finals. But in order to make 100% sure, make sure you drop us a follow on ESL Swiss, at ESL Swiss on Twitter, and at Swisscom_gaming. But yeah, we started out with 6 contestants, our top 6 out of the regular season. Solag and Senpai forming the top 2 of the league. Senpai, he was like undefeated for the entirety of the season until that very last day, where Solag managed to took him down and snatch away that first place, that first seed away from him. And then we had Jesus and Adipa right behind behind them, followed by Dachim and Baumbert. Both of those, they didn't really stand too much of a chance against Jesus and Adipa respectively. They made quite quick work of them. And then tonight we got to witness those 2 semi-finals. The team kill here coming out from Jesus.
I mean, the question that we will keep forever is if Solag had chosen Adepa as opponent.
Yeah.
Maybe it would look different now. I mean, Solag chose his fate here in Jesus, and Jesus won.
Yeah, he like came down for a reckoning here. Was like, okay, yeah, you know, as he said, like in that moment, he completely like shut it out that he's his teammate. He was just like, okay, it's just a guy, and I'm just gonna play it my best. He was prepared for it, and he gave us a great show. He had like a game plan through and through, and you can really feel that. And then between Adipa and Senpai, you could really see the tension from both of these players. They knew how high the stakes were, and yeah, I mean, after a great start, Senpai looked super solid in the first game of that match. Adipa just came back swinging, like being completely reckless, and especially in game number 3 with that early aggressive graveyard there, getting such a huge advantage right away. That also like really punishes your opponent's mental game. And then for the fourth and final match, he just completely predicted that Semperect would resort back to what worked for him in the past, opting for that Lava Hound, had the good counter there with the E-Drag, with that sneaky golem deck. Overall a
Of
great
course,
performance.
also drop us a follow, and that concludes the Clash Royale matches until the final. But there is other games going on. What's next? I mean, you're not done yet. I will not have to work until the grand final, but you have a lot of work to do.
I still have one or the other stream to do, and we're gonna be starting tomorrow night actually at 8 p.m. here once again at twitch.tv/ESL Swiss with League of Legends. Once again here, we still have that game. We're gonna be starting out tomorrow and on Thursday.
Are people actually watching it?
I hope they will. I hope you will. We have our quarterfinals coming up tomorrow night and on Thursday. And for that, make sure you head over to our Twitter at ESL Swiss, where we just posted a poll where you can vote on which ones of the matchups you'd actually like to watch. I'm not 100% sure yet anymore. I think it's either Lostic versus Le Schmutz, I think. And
that's a nice name.
Yeah, they have some great names in there. But yeah, we'll have we have one best of 3 series coming up tomorrow, one best of 3 series coming up on Thursday, where you can vote on which ones you'd like to see. And then on next week on the 20th, that is going to be Monday. Yes, on Monday, we'll have our CSGO semifinals going on, followed by the 2 days after on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, we'll have more League of Legends action with our semifinals. And yeah, there we have the update. It's either for tomorrow, it's either going to be Lostic versus Scuttle Church or Fragbox versus Le Schmutz. You can still vote on that one. Currently, Lostic versus Scuttle Church is in the lead, but by only just a tiny little bit. You still have about 50 minutes to vote on that one, so make sure you get your votes in. And then for Thursday, you can vote between Edelweiss Esports versus La Cité and My Insanity versus Noetic. There, so far it does seem a little more clear-cut with My Insanity versus Noetic being in the lead at nearly 75%. So if you want to see Edelweiss versus La Cité, make sure you get those votes in. If you want to support My Insanity and Noetic or either of those teams, make sure you still drop them a vote.
That will be on Thursday.
Yeah,
My Insanity. Very cool.
We got some great teams, and I think also there the meta is in a super interesting spot with the most recent patch. We're going to be playing on patch 10.18. That's like the pre-Worlds patch that they will be playing on. Some big changes coming in there with like the big Singe changes, big Akshan being changed a lot, and of course also Soraka, which I personally expect to see a little bit of potentially. But we'll have to see what our teams with what strategies they're coming up with.
And with that, we have to conclude for the night. As always, good night, good fight. It was interesting. It was some really great matches that we've seen today. I can't wait for the finals. And speaking of finals, you have the final last words.
Thank you. I want also to thank you, of course, for another great season here during the regular play days as well as the playoffs. I'm looking forward to casting those finals together with you. You'll get more to see of me tomorrow night, 8 p.m. here at twitch.tv/ESL Swiss. Until then, stay happy and healthy, and good night.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Mit dem Shuttle wäre es natürlich toll, wenn man den nicht vergisst zu machen, weil sonst ist es einfach nervig, wenn man jetzt...
Alice, kannst du mir helfen mit dem WLAN-Passwort?
Mom, geh doch einfach auf die My Swisscom App.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Et voilà, Internet ultra rapide.
Toujours pas.
Ah non. Ouais, allô? Ouais, écoutez, j'ai un souci familial. Ça marche pas.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Hotels and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away.